Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Antie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, hello, Antie Joan. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thanks. How about your own self?
Oh, I am just fine. Thank you.
Yes, okay, you're welcome.
Do you know what today is?
Thursday?
It is. It's also July 24th. But what that means for us here in the Front Range of Colorado is that it's Dine Out for Ukraine.
Oh, I did not know that.
And it is with a group called Sunflower Seeds Ukraine. And they have these dining out. This is the first one I've ever seen, but apparently they've done this before. They designate a day for Dine Out for Ukraine, and they partner with as many restaurants as that are willing to partner, I assume. And part of the proceeds for the day's sale at those restaurants goes to the Sunflower Seeds Ukraine, and they support many things. They do humanitarian things like pets and providing pet supplies over in the Ukraine for strays, as well as people that had to be removed because of the war activities. It's also for kids, which, I don't care about that as much, but
Oh my gosh, Auntie.
they also support tactical and providing medical supplies to those on the front line, things like that. So it's being 50% Ukrainian myself, I thought it would be good to support that. And lo and behold, Trace Gringos in Netherlands, Colorado, is participating. So I went there for lunch today and had a lovely burrito. And they have vegan stuff. I've eaten there before. I don't frequent there, but I have eaten there several times in the past because I know they have vegan stuff for me. This did not disappoint.
Oh, just for you?
Just for me.
Just for you. That's thoughtful.
Did not disappoint. They, have vegan
Good.
cheese. They have an avocado crema that is vegan as well.
Oh my gosh.
And it was quite delicious. And I only ate half because I really was full. It wasn't, me, I'd eat it if I could.
Yeah.
And now, to be fair, I also got chips and salsa. It took a little while to get my burrito, so I ate a lot of the chips and salsa. But then she said, should we be talking about dessert? And I said, probably not. I doubt you have anything vegan. And she said, we have plantains in cinnamon and sugar. And I said, well, then, I think I have to have that. So she brought that out to me.
What do plantains taste like? Do they taste like bananas?
A little bit. They're a little bit milder. They're not quite as sweet.
Oh.
Yeah. But remember, this was very sweet because it also had cinnamon and sugar on it.
Yeah.
And they put it in a pan and it just caramelizes onto the plantains.
Oh.
The second she walked, so I sat outside, so open air. I was one of the only people in the restaurant. And because I went very early. As soon as she walked out the door coming towards me, you just got this waft of cinnamon. And I'm like, oh my God, that smells amazing. So then I saw it. And I actually made a post, folks. It's out on the Instagram and the Facebook. You know what? I tasted it. I was like, this is so good. Because it had like a little crunch to it because of the caramelization of the sugar. And I was just like, you know what? This would be amazing with coffee. So I'm just going to have a couple of pieces because it's like one plantain that they chop up into like 5 pieces. And I was like, I'm just going to have a couple pieces here and I'm going to bring the rest home so I can have it with some coffee because I bet you that's amazing. It did not make it home. I ate it all right then and there. I couldn't stop. I mean, I could. I thought about it and I was just like, and that was after my half of burrito that I was already full from and my nearly full basket of chips and salsa. It was so damn good, people. I don't even know what to say. I was embarrassed when she came back and I was like, I really did plan on taking some of this home, but and she's like, I know, it's so good, right? I'm like, yeah.
Well, next time get one to go and have them box it up for you.
Yes, that's what I should have done in the first place. But I was like, I still had time. I wanted to go early because I knew we were recording and I still had to stop at the Ace Hardware and pick up a couple of things and then head back. But yeah, so I'm sitting there outside eating my lunch. I hear this sound and I'm like, it sounded like a car crash. And I'm like, but I didn't hear anything after it. Like no screams, no sirens, no people like running around with their like chickens with their head cut off.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. And I was just like, what else could that have been? And I'm like, and I'm like, well, maybe construction. But then I looked around, like, there's no construction going on. Like, what was that? What? When I was leaving, I saw what was going on. And it was a car crash. 3 cars. One was a smaller car, and that ass end was smushed almost all the way, at least halfway through the back seat, if not all the way up to the driver's seats.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was, so I don't know what, and there was I don't know what kind of car that was, I guess. It was a small car. And then there was a red SUV on the opposite side of the road facing the wrong way. And there was another car that was like T-boned into another like pickup truck was T-boned into that red SUV. So I don't know who did what and what exactly happened. The ambulance was there. Fire department was there. Cops, of course, were there. But no, I never heard a siren. So I don't think anybody was critically injured because there was no siren. Like I said, I would have been like, oh, that was what I heard because it was a while. You know, I can't remember if I just gotten my burrito or maybe I just had gotten the chips and salsa, and that's when I first heard it. And then, like I said, and it wasn't, I mean, throw a rock. I couldn't see it from where I was because the building protrudes out from sitting outside. And it's a parking lot. You basically are sitting outside in a parking lot. That's why I don't usually do that, but it was a nice day. But so there were cars too, so I couldn't see. But I sure as hell didn't hear anything else besides the crash itself. Wow. And like I said, no sirens. So I hope everybody's okay. But it was a crash. It was a crash. And then driving home after the Ace Hardware, I was driving and it started to really rain. And I'm like, oh,
really?
Okay. It's like downpouring as I'm driving. I'm like, okay. Well, I round this part probably about, at this point, 7-8 minutes from my house. Just past South Boulder Road, you get to these like little bit of switchbacky things, and accumulating hail was on the ground just in this section.
Wow.
Nowhere else. Like I rounded this I saw this car coming at me going really slow. I'm like, what is your problem? And then I round the corner and I was like, oh. I put in all-wheel drive because I have my summer tires on right now, you know, because it's not supposed to do this.
Summer.
It's summer, you know. So I was fine. There was no sliding. But there was somebody was on a motorcycle and they weren't down, but they parked like in the middle of the northbound lane for some reason. So cars coming northbound now had to go around. So I don't know if he couldn't move it. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, and it was just through the switchbacky part, and then it rained more. It definitely rained, and it came down pretty hard. I was like, uh-oh, flash flood, like we were concerned about last night on our drive, because that's what my car kept telling us we were going to run into. My car's mapping system has not been updated since 2015. And sorry, it's a weather app. It's a weather app that's integrated into the map thing, and it is the worst because it's not. I've never paid for this service, and I never got it upgraded. So all it says is flash flood warning in 5 minutes from current location. Not direction. No indication of what the hell they're talking about.
But we did find it. We did see the flooding, the flash flooding.
We saw rain.
No, it was the sprinkler system.
Oh, the sprinkler system. That's right. And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, my car is worthless. And it as soon as you turn the car on, it gives you those kind of messages when there's weather, significant weather. And it's just like, it's not helpful. Like, I don't know how to turn it off. So, yeah. But anywho, so yeah, that happened on the ride home. But yeah, I leave Auntie Joan's house at, 10:30, 10? Yeah. 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. Last night, and drove home 10 o'clock because I think I got home about 11. No, thankfully, knock on wood, no incidents of any kind. Everything was fine. But I drive my little 25 minutes between Netherlands and where I live.
In broad daylight.
In broad daylight. And lots of shit going on.
That's what happens when you go out in the daytime.
Right?
People are out and about, and
Oh,
you just never know what you're going to run into.
I know. I got to Trace Gringos right at 11:50. They opened at 11. I got there at 11:15, and I was the only person. And then I think when I left, there were like maybe four other people.
Kudos to Nederland, that
Mm.
small little town that has so many vegan options for you.
They really do. Honestly, Crosscut Pizza has vegan cheese, so I can get pizza there. They also have like an olives appetizer, and seasonally they have a wonderful quinoa salad. It's
Mm.
quite delicious, and I just get it without the feta. They do a really nice job too. Backcountry Pizza, unfortunately, which is going to be closing at the end of August, just the Netherland location, they have vegan cheese, so I can get vegan slices there. Trying to think what else we have. I think Busey's Brews has like a soft pretzel on their menu. I never went there for like a meal. It was always like snacks and soft pretzels. Yeah, they're really good there actually.
Well, it seems like when you've gone there, you know,
Yes. Oh, and
you've
the Mountain Peak Cafe that
uh
Hasey and I went to. I had a nice tofu scramble breakfast.
mm.
It was quite delicious. With mimosas, of course. Have to. Have to. So yes, Netherlands does do a very good job, and I wish some of that would migrate south and
Yeah.
come over
Yeah.
here. But to be honest, it's actually better that they don't because I really don't like to eat out all that often. And if it was too close, I absolutely would. Absolutely. When I lived in Westminster and before I was vegan and I had McDonald's and Burger King both
Mm.
within 10 minutes of my house, things were not good. Things
How
are
about
not
Taco Bell? Where
too
did you have
convenient.
one? Or
I
do
was
you?
never a big Taco Bell
Oh,
person.
oh.
I don't, it's not that I didn't like it. It just wasn't something I thought of to go do or go
Mm.
get. Yeah, but apparently there's a new chicken, not vegan, clearly, but there's a new chicken restaurant in Netherlands just opened up the past couple weeks. It's getting rave reviews.
No.
Yes, people are digging it quite a bit.
Hmm.
So, again, not for me, but they're trying over there at least to provide a little bit more variety. So, that's nice. That's a nice
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's going on with you, Auntie Joan?
Oh, can I give a shout out, please,
Please.
to
Thank you.
thank you, to raw sugar moisturizing hand wash.
Okay.
I have tried so many different hand soaps over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I go like Dove, extra sensitive skin, double moisturizing. And, I use it and my hands get so dry and flaky.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff, this raw sugar moisturizing hand wash, like almost instantly, my hands feel smooth and I'm
Oh,
not putting on the hand cream as much as I used to. They feel good.
nice.
Yeah, I feel
Nice.
so glad I tried that.
Is
So,
raw sugar the name of the
yeah,
brand?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is
And
there a
we'll
particular
put a link out
scent
there.
that you
Uh,
like?
oh, what did I get? I just got, of course, from Amazon. I'm not sure what I got. Now, there's different
Oh,
scents.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Very cool. Because I
But
always loved the scent of the dove stuff that you would
mm,
have in your
mm,
bathroom. And I remember seeing that it was something different when I was over there yesterday, but I didn't pay
mm-hmm.
attention to what it was and I didn't pay attention to how it smelled. Because normally when there's something new, I have to
Mm-hmm.
give it a good sniff. I
I'm
forgot.
just so pleased.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Send us the link and we'll get it posted as part of the episode.
That's my big excitement, except for what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you one thing, I am exhausted.
Auntie Joan and I have been very social lately, which is very much not us.
No, no.
Out and about at nighttime for me? Are you kidding? Nighttime? Nighttime's
Yeah,
for sleeping.
it is.
That's what I say.
Mm,
Yes, we started off right after recording last episode. a couple days after. Auntie Joan found this on the Facebook, and it was
Oh,
called the Psychic Speakeasy at the Louisville Underground. You want to tell everybody what that entailed, Auntie Joan?
well, it's Anthem and Aria,
Uh-huh.
man, woman. I think they're going to be getting married, but they've been together for many years, 10 years or something now. They're mentalists. It's usually Aria that's on the stage, and Anthem goes out and says, "Okay, what am I holding up here?" And
Mm-hmm.
she guesses it, and she was like 95%
Mm-hmm.
right on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that was sitting next to us, Anthem goes through, hold up anything that, you're. So he's holding up his like work badge. And she gets that it's a badge or a card. And she even guessed his name. And it was like Giorgio or something,
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I was obviously I won't be up there on stage. Uh, And he was totally blown away, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yeah, they're very entertaining. Come to find out from Auntie Mary, they were finalists on America's Got Talent.
Now,
They were
she said
beat
they were
out.
finalists.
Yes, they got beat out by a child playing a ukulele.
You must have talked to her after we
I
went.
did.
Okay. Okay. Because of what Aria said during the performance. She said that they got buzzed,
Yes.
but Mary said they were finalists. So obviously there was some.
No, they didn't win. They got
No, they
beat
didn't.
out by the girl with the ukulele.
Right. But usually when I think of people being buzzed on America's Got Talent, it's when they come out and they start doing their act and they're so horrible that somebody on the judging crew will buzz them to like get off.
But that's what they do every week until they whittle it down to the winner. The buzzing doesn't just happen in the initial auditions.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, okay.
They
But they were finalists, huh?
they were finalists, yes. And yeah, I thought they were very entertaining. It got a little long at the end because they kept doing, well, should we do one more thing? Should we do one more thing? But honestly, it was the exact amount of time that they said it was going. To
Yeah,
me, it
yeah.
felt like they were going over, and I was like, okay, you guys can wrap this up now. But not that I wasn't entertained, because I thoroughly was. I absolutely was. I was just, again, guys, it was, pushing 10 o'clock at night. Auntie's usually been asleep for an hour and a half by this point. So I was like, wrap it up. But then when we got to the car, I was like, oh, they ended exactly at the time they said they were going to. So it really wasn't extra stuff. They had planned to do it all right along. But it was very entertaining, very surprising what they knew and how they, the very first thing that opened with was this seeing who in the audience might have some psychic capabilities. And we were supposed to guess or feel what Aria was going to say next. And it was either heart, brain, or stomach?
Yeah.
Heart,
Yeah.
brain, or stomach. And you had to put your hand either on your stomach or your heart or your brain, your head. And I was out very first one. I was like, clearly not a psychic. But Auntie Joan hung in there.
I made it to the second.
Yes. And then it whittled down. They kept probably like 2 or 3 more rounds, and they whittled it down to this one person. I don't remember what they did at that point, but they took out this rolled up piece of paper that they had on the stage, visible to us all, just sitting there since the second they got on the stage. And they said that we had a dream. Oh, so they knew that the person that it whittled down to had a dream and what it was about. It was all written on this piece of paper. They knew that the person that they were going to select was going to be wearing a white shirt with open-toed sandal wedges, and that she was going to have blonde hair. And it was just like, how the fuck could they possibly have known that? And again, that piece of paper was visible to us the entire time. So unless there's a third person involved somehow, some way, and maybe that's why Anthem holds up the stuff, and maybe he's got a mini video thing somewhere on his person that we can't see, that somebody in the back is now telling aria, what it is. That's the only, unless they're really
Well,
psychic. I don't know. I
no,
don't
no.
know.
I'm so skeptical about anything anymore. Okay, now I watched a murder mystery or something, and one of the things was they were working with psychics
Mm-hmm.
and mentalists. And one thing that they said they did was the words that they used to ask the questions. Like it was all predetermined. Like if I say, "What am I holding?" it means I'm holding some keys. If I say, "What do I have in my hands now?" it means I'm holding a camera. They had all these words and phrases set up to mean something. And the guy that sat by us, I remembered he went up to get some beverages, didn't he, at the bar while we
Mm-hmm.
were sitting there. And you know they would have carded him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wonder if maybe the bartender or whatever got the name. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah, so that would maybe explain his interaction. How do you explain all the rest of it?
Well, with some of the words, but are you talking about other things like how when Anthem went out and said, "Okay, everybody, tell me where's the one place you'd like to take a trip to?"
Mm-hmm.
And everybody shouted out, places
That one
they'd
I
like to
didn't
go
believe at
to.
all because there were too many people
Okay,
shouting. So he easily could have
yeah,
just said,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
heard Japan. No,
yeah,
that one
yeah.
I thought was hokey.
Okay, okay,
That one,
and
yeah.
And one of the pictures that they have on their website, I looked, where they have one of those big rollout things,
Mm-hmm.
is it was like Japan, and there were a couple other things that were the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, but who cares? They're entertaining. The price was right, it
Yeah.
wasn't very expensive.
No.
And
25 bucks
and
for 2 hours of entertainment.
yeah, yeah. And I thought they were entertaining. So yeah, yeah. And they're doing a hypnosis thing in when is it? August or
So I
uh
went onto their website because
mm-hmm.
Auntie Mary said that she's interested in going to see them and all that. So I looked to see what's going on. First of all, their website is atrocious. I didn't see anything about hypnosis and hooch that he was telling us about. I didn't see that on their site anywhere. I did see that they have what's called an American Haunting that's on
Yeah,
October
yeah.
22nd. I was like, "Oh, cool." I click on it. Link goes nowhere. And I'm
You
just like,
you're not going to be here anyway, are you?
the 22nd I am. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was the one on the 11th that I won't be here for.
Uh,
And
uh,
that one's down near where Auntie Mary lives,
oh.
but she's also not going to be in town. So unfortunately, neither of us
Mm,
can go to that one. And
mm,
of course,
mm,
that was interesting to her because it was so close to her house. Yeah, it was at Nona's Italian restaurant in Centennial.
mm.
Like I said, their website is terrible, unfortunately, because they are entertaining. We would be interested in possibly seeing them again. You click on things and it goes to nothing. With this one, you clicked on it, actually brought up and gave you a little synopsis of what it's all about. But then clearly you're supposed to be able to click on a date. The date, it says no dates. So you
Mhm.
can't, even though it's under a heading called tickets, you can't get tickets. So either that means they sold out already or they're not even available for sale yet, but instead it just says no dates. And I'm like, you guys, I know you guys aren't making tons of money because you're not charging us that much and you got to pay the venue and whatever. If you're going to have an act like that and you're relying on people repeat business or first time business, whatever, your website has to fucking work. If that's the only place, because then I went out to Nona's website. I'm like, all right, screw you guys. I'm going
Mhm,
to
mhm,
Nona's website. If they're not showing out to October yet. They're only through the end
mhm,
of July
mhm.
at this point. Maybe like the first week of August or whatever. So that's probably where it might be better to go to as it gets a little bit closer to October. But it just, like, guys, don't, because
We I
they made comments a couple of times about how poor they are and all that crap during their show and how they don't make money. And it's like, well, if people don't know how to fucking come see you,
I think maybe you should offer up your services for
oh
them.
God. In this day and age, I really get very aggravated when people don't have a functioning website that is for things
Yeah,
like this where you
yeah.
can get tickets or what, you know what I mean? Like, because there was another one today that I tried to click on. Oh, Bright House Music. It was based on a post somebody selling something, and I was like, let me see how much you're selling it for, because I don't think this person should be selling this item. And I was like, if it's inexpensive, I'll buy it and give it back to her. I was like, oh, let me see if they've got it on their website. They have a website, supposedly, according to the Google machine. But I click on website and 404 error. And I'm like, like,
Well,
unacceptable.
I looked at Eventbrite because that's who we got the tickets through for
Oh, okay.
Psychic Speakeasy.
Okay.
And I went there and they had a whole bunch of what Eventbrite was going to have tickets for. But when I went to Hypnosis and Hooch, it just says no tickets. Buy at the door, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
then they should be from their website. They should link to Eventbrite.
Yeah.
To see where we're going up, or our up and coming shows, and whatever. Click here and launch Eventbrite. But instead, they actually have a ticket section on their site that is non-functioning, and no mention of Eventbrite anywhere on it. I forgot, because you had gotten the tickets for these, but I do remember you telling me that you got them on Eventbrite now.
Oh, that's probably why you didn't even check that, because you didn't. Yeah,
I forgot until you just said it. I was like, oh, that's
yeah.
right. You got the tickets on Eventbrite.
And they were sold out. The show we went to was sold out. But now
Yes.
I'm thinking, I wonder if that was because it was on Facebook. It came up as an ad on Facebook.
Right.
So it got some exposure that way.
Yes. And I'm all for people leveraging Facebook for getting the word out. Then don't have a website. If Facebook and Eventbrite are your two things, then don't have a website. And just say, when you do a search, because a lot of people, like very small businesses, will do that. They'll just have their Facebook page as basically their business page.
Yeah,
they don't have a website. But if you have a website, it better fucking work.
And now you know why we don't have a website.
Well, many reasons, but but yes. So all in all, and the venue was very good. Louisville Underground, had never been there before. Old Town Louisville is very cool. They've got lots of little restaurants, some little shops and stuff.
Hoppin' nightlife on a Saturday. It was Saturday, wasn't it?
It was a Saturday night. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a cool little area. I haven't spent a ton of time there, but I have been there multiple times in the past. The Huckleberry House is a fantastic place for breakfast. And I assume it's still there. To be honest with you, I don't know. Is it still there? Okay.
Yeah.
I used to go there often when I worked at Cable Labs.
Oh.
That was my first foray into the Huckleberry
House.
House.
Would have been, yeah.
Delicious. Just delicious. Now that I'm vegan, it's a little. I don't know if they have anything vegan. Maybe they do. I don't know. But I just assume, for how wonderful it was, probably not.
Speaking of breakfast, I've been thinking of snooze a bit lately.
We'll have to do that the next time we do a slumber party. Go for a late breakfast.
And then swing by Uka on the way back.
You have to get lunch. So, yes, snoozes. Oh, just so good. Just so good.
Yeah, it was good.
Anthem and Aria, the psychic soulmates is how they call themselves on their website. And they are based in Colorado. They're from Colorado. I don't know how often they tour outside of Colorado. And their website, like I said, sucks. So I don't know how you'd ever find out if they tour outside of Colorado. Maybe go to Eventbrite. Did you see anything on Eventbrite that was not in Colorado?
I didn't look that closely. I was just looking for the Hypnosis and Hooch.
Okay. Yeah, that's not even mentioned on their website at all. I'm just like, all right. So, yes, but they're entertaining. Like we said, tickets are priced right. And they usually do it in some kind of bar, speakeasy kind of environment. So you've got drinks and food and stuff. So it's a good time.
I wish they would have told me about the Chicago hot dogs at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, and if you do go see them at the Louisville Underground, just know that apparently you can reserve tables, which we also didn't know about through Eventbrite. We didn't have any indication of that. So they had seats, just chairs, set up in front of the stage. Actually, we had really good seats. We were in the front
Yeah.
row,
Yeah.
so we could see everything and certainly hear everything. They have microphones anyway. They have high top tables there and a banquette along one side of a wall with tables and high top, or higher chairs on the other side of it. We just didn't know. When I first
Yeah.
walked in and I saw that everything was reserved, I was like, oh, do we all get reserved seat? Like, you know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
looking for your name on the table placards, and then I was like, oh, like, did you reserve a table? And you're like, I never saw it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I think we sit in those seats up there, which wasn't terrible. And again, because we sat right in front of the stage, we used a little portion of the stage as a little table because we did get
Hmm.
beers,
Hmm.
and so we had something to put our stuff down on. But if we sat a row back, we would have had to be holding it or putting it on the floor and
Yeah.
hoping we didn't
Yeah.
knock it over.
Yeah.
So if you do, try and get a table reservation. If you can't, get there a little bit earlier and try and get a front row seat so you can leverage the stage as your little table.
And if you have hip or knee issues, like some of us do, it's a long staircase down, and it's kind of scary. It's all painted black, and I don't think the treads are as wide as maybe. But anyway, they also have a nice ramp. So if you go to the back of the venue,
Right.
then you can take the ramp down. So
Yeah. If you're looking at the front door of the establishment, because it's called the Louisville Corner is the building it's in, because there's multiple things in this building, folks. So speakeasies, if you're not familiar, are hidden. They're supposed to be hidden bars from back in the day when Prohibition was going on and all that stuff. So they all speakeasies really try to be hidden in some way, and this location, the top floor is a restaurant under different name, all that. But you walk in that door and there's a sign that points down that tells you go down to the Louisville Underground, which is the speakeasy. You go down that long staircase and you're in an arcade. So
yeah,
now you
yeah.
got to walk through the arcade to get to the speakeasy. Then it's pretty obvious. You'll see it pretty clearly there. But just know that it's going to be a little confusing. But to get to the ramp, Antie Joan's talking about, if you're looking at the front door, you just go down the street to the left along the side of the building, and then you'll see the switchback ramp that'll take you down to the arcade, and you still have to walk through the other side of the arcade to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
the speakeasy. So, but all in all, it was a fun night.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Um,
made it. I made it up the ramp just fine and dandy.
Fast, actually. I was a little nervous
Yeah,
at why she was
yeah.
going so fast, to be quite
I,
frank.
that's how I used to always walk, was fast.
Well,
Believe it or not. Yeah.
times have changed, but apparently not that night, because you were cooking it up those stairs. So, or that ramp. Yes, but can we stop with just one event in a week? No, of
No.
course
And you know what?
not.
But wasn't it just the week before we did the Pour Your Own Epoxy?
Correct.
See, yeah, and not one, not two,
But
but
3. Now, we
three.
did know this when we booked them. We kept pointing that out, that this is a lot in a very short period of time. Are we both okay with this? And we both said yes. So last night, we went to a bonsai bar class at Sanita's Brewery, same company that we went to Pour Your Own Epoxy at, but different location this time. We went to Lafayette, Colorado. And I like this location much better as
Yeah,
far
I do
as
too.
the brewery. Yeah. And the class was great. So you walk in and you're greeted by this very young, very sweet girl. What was her name?
Alana.
Alana. And she's adorable. And she's very friendly and chit chatty. And she's getting married soon.
And she remembered my name because her sister-in-laws or her brother, sister, whatever, they just had a baby and they named her Joan
That's right.
too.
That's
Which
right.
blows my mind because you don't hear too many Jones being born.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that and she says, "Well, the older names are making a comeback."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the older ones are.
Yes. Yes, I remember when my cousin and his wife was pregnant, and well, actually a couple of my cousins named their children females Emma. Now the
Hmm.
cousin on my father's mother's side makes sense because Emma was her name, but the cousin on my mother's side of the family had no connection to an Emma, but the name was just coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
And Alana last night was telling us that when she has her first child, if
Oh, yeah.
first female child, she's planning on naming her Dorothea. And it's just, yeah, I mean, names are cyclical. They'll come back at some point. So it's
Well, there's
interesting.
some celebrity couple who named their child Violet. A big celebrity couple named their child Violet, and that was my mother's name. And as a kid growing up, I thought it was such a weird, strange name.
Oh, I like it. It's purple. I just think
Well,
purple,
yeah, yeah. Well,
which is happy because I love purple. Makes me
to
happy.
me, it was old fashioned.
It turns out that Alana's brother-in-law had started this business called Bonsai Bar in the Northeast. I think she
New
said Rhode Island.
Hampshire.
Was it New Hampshire or Rhode Island? One of them. Anyway, so they really started and branched out down the East Coast. And then Alana had moved out to Colorado, and her sister and her are very close. So her sister said, well, we're heading out to Colorado. So she told her husband, you're basically going to need to start branching out your bonsai bar business out here. And if last night was any indication, they're going to thrive.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to thrive. I mean, it was now all the things that, I said negatively about Pour Your Own Epoxy were the exact opposite with the bonsai bar. So we were in a smaller area, not I wouldn't call it a smaller space, but a smaller area that they designated for the bonsai bar participants. You buy your tickets online like you do. I would say there were what, 25, maybe 30 people.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
The tables were set up much better. Auntie Joan and I sat at a round table so anybody could get up without having to worry about being in the way of anybody else or knocking into anybody. The tables were spaced nicely. There were some rectangular four-seater tables as well, but our table would have fit 5 people. There were only 2 other people at our table with us. Lovely young people hanging out with us. And
You know what I just thought of?
what?
Nobody sits next to me. Nobody sat next to me at the Pour Your Own Epoxy. Nobody sat next to me at
There
this
you
thing.
go. Maybe you
I
smell.
like it like that. I like
Well,
it
keep
like that.
smelling like that and you'll continue
Yeah,
with that.
thank you.
So, but there were 2 instructor. Well, really one main instructor, but Alana's brother-in-law. What is his name?
Brandon.
Brandon? Yes, I like Brandon. I can see that on the board written. Yes. Brandon and Alana. Brandon was really the main instructor, giving everybody instructions and steps and demonstrating and things along the way. But it was all broken into chunks. So he didn't overwhelm and show you everything you need to do. Now go do it. It was, okay, now we're going to start with this. And everybody, and he demonstrates what he's talking about. And you're like, okay, so now you do that. Then, the next step, same thing, instruction, give it a shot as they're walking around and supporting everybody. So they had 2 people supporting 30 people, not one person supporting 40
Yeah.
to 50 and answering a gajillion questions. And even though they kept saying, be patient with it, there's only 2 of us. I was like, you have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah.
going so much smoother than the last thing we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It was just very well done. He had a very pleasing voice to listen to. He wasn't overly do this now. It was like, this is how you should do it, but be creative, make sure you're feeling one with your plant. Name your bonsai. And I'm happy to say mine spoke to me and said his name was Henry.
Mine is Stephanie.
Yes. And so you're supposed to talk to it and touch the leaves and
And the guy at our table with us, he called mine Jennifer. And I thought he was talking, somebody else. And I said, no, her Stephanie. He's, oh. And then I said, who's Jennifer? Because I thought that was his girlfriend with him, but I don't think so.
I'm not quite sure what that
Yeah,
relationship was,
yeah, yeah.
but he did
But he
say
says,
that he was going to call his
yeah,
Jennifer.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So he sounds like an enlightened fella, not
Yes.
afraid of his own little feminine side, although he was masculine enough. Yeah.
Yes. Very pleasant. It was just they wanted you to try stuff, but you could also ask them questions along the way. And they were able to get to you fairly quickly as well. I never felt like I was waiting too long because I was terrified. I am not a plant person, people, in any way, shape, or form. It scares the ever living shit out of me. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no green thumb to speak of, but I'm the one that wanted to do this class. Bonsais have always been very pretty, and they've always intimidated me because I know there's care involved and pruning and stuff like that. If you saw my basil plant right now, you would understand that I'm incapable of keeping something healthy and alive.
Well, the one you had a couple of years ago was beautiful.
It was. I was using it more. I have not other than harvesting for you that one time, and then me taking like a few leaves off to like zhuzh up a dish I was eating or whatever. I haven't really harvested it, and I think that's a mistake. That's a huge mistake. So I'm actually getting ready to toss him. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Oh no!
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. Well, I haven't made that call quite yet, but anyway. So then the bonsai, they're just so pretty and intricate and delicate, and I was very nervous. And at one point, we were doing, I don't even remember what step we were on. He's like, now if anybody needs help, and I raised my hand immediately, he comes over, he's like, you haven't even tried yet. And I'm like, I know, but I'm scared. He's just like, no, you'll be fine. And I'm like,
This is a woman who stands up to anybody, and she's afraid to take her scissors to
plants
a little.
intimidate me. So I had a really good time last night, and the beer was good. The pretzel was good at the venue. The bartenders were super friendly.
Yeah,
super friendly.
Yeah,
yeah. I really liked that place a lot.
Yeah, I think I had made an in with them right away when Alana identified with me and my name, because we had that little conversation, all about names and things like that. So I think maybe she felt drawn to us. So I think we got kind of preferential treatment.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
it was cool.
And maybe being on the oxygen too.
But it's nice. You get to pick out your own. They have, the plants all on one table. You get to pick out your own. They're all healthy and beautiful. Honestly, I didn't see a difference between them, to be quite frank.
No.
You really don't see the characteristics of the bonsai until you get close, take away some of the dirt and get closer to the root structure. Then you can actually see, because mine's a super leaner, which you'll see. We'll post some pictures. Mine's a super leaner, which I like. I'm okay with that. But when it was in the original thing that came from the nursery, it was just straight and had a lot of leaves on it. Like everybody's looked the same. Like I really didn't. I'm like, they're like, pick a plant. I'm like, this one. I don't know. They all look the same to me. And then you got to pick, included in your price, a lovely little ceramic planter to put it in.
And those were nice.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
I was impressed that actually, because I thought first, because then he had a couple on the side when we first got there. He's like, now these are $10 extra for the, I was just like, is it $10 extra for any of these? He's like, oh, no, just these over here. And I was like, oh, he's like, this one you can just pick. And I was like, okay.
I didn't see $10 worth of difference in them.
No. I mean, it was slightly bigger, but that was it. But I was like, no, this is great. And we got I forgot what that stuff is called. It begins with a D.
Dianthius or
something like that, which I had heard about before because somebody had posted on the Facebook, one of the pages, about how do you all naturally keep pests out of your house and things like that. And somebody had posted that. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's a natural substance. Comes from, what does it come from, Auntie Joan?
Dead sea monkeys.
Dead sea monkeys. but they grind it up, and it's a natural pest control thing that you like sprinkle on the exterior of your house, like along the foundation, and it's supposed to keep bugs out. And I was
I
just like,
just
huh.
saw on I just saw next door today, somebody was saying you put that by your plants and it'll kill the Japanese beetles or whatever
Right.
they're called.
Right. But this is actually what they're using as the soil for the
Yeah.
bonsai, which I found interesting. Oh, tidbit, which we both found out in real time at the class last night. Bonsai plants are highly poisonous, toxic for
Oh
cats and
yeah.
dogs. So if you get a bonsai, keep them far away from your pets. And by Auntie Joan and I were just like, what? We both have pets. This what?
What did we sign up for?
So just be very cognizant of that if you do decide to go down the bonsai route. But yeah, I mean, they're not nationwide quite yet, but they are on the East Coast. They are in the Colorado area. So if you happen to be listening in any of those kinds of locations, bonsaibar.com, we'll have the link out there. Check them out. I was very, very happy. And they got us, didn't they, Auntie Joan?
Yeah.
Because what did we do between last night and this morning?
We signed up for a miniature jade bonsai class bar
Yes.
in Westminster.
Yes. We're going to be
August 21st. So if you want to meet the aunties, come on down.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah. And let's not forget, included in that price
Yes.
is a triage if you need help with
Got
your
it?
bonsai.
Triage. Get it? Ah. They like to
That
tell that
was
joke a
cute.
lot.
That was cute. Yes.
It was very cute. I agree. I agree. But yes, you can either they give you a QR code and you can reach out to them and ask them any questions if you're having any issues or just not quite sure what to do or whatever. And they're so passionate. They're so knowledgeable. Brandon is a plethora of information regarding bonsai plants. It's refreshing to see a 28-year-old man be that passionate about a tree, a tree species. You know, it's lovely.
We talked about them on the way home, this new generation, and there's hope for the future with kids like them. Yeah.
Yeah, because he started that business when he was in his mid-20s. I mean,
Yeah, because it's not been around like maybe 5 years tops.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
I think it was $85 for the class, so it's not inexpensive, but active time, your individual participation is throughout the entire 2-hour class.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of downtime, because if you finish a task before everybody else does and they're still answering questions, there's a little bit of a lag. Not like Pour Your Own Epoxy.
I was going to say I would have been happy with 10 minutes.
Well, they did give you 10 minutes and you did nothing with it, so stop. But yes.
No, I felt we definitely got our money's worth out of that.
For sure. And they have other things, upsell items at the end. They let you take some clippings so you can, what is it called, Auntie Joan?
Propagate.
There you go. Talk about that,
And
'cause I can't.
I've got them in some water.
Yeah, so they're supposed to take root in water and then you'll be able to plant them. And they have these little planter things. And they're so adorable, but we don't have anything. We said we'll check. We did not buy any. I bought one thing extra because they had a tray that I could put, a ceramic tray to go underneath the pot that I planted the bonsai in. And it was $7. That's all I bought extra. And it's ceramic and glazed and pretty and the same color that I, as my pot was. And I really liked it. I thought it was well worth the $7.
Yeah.
But everything else, we decided we were going to wait until our second class for one to see if our little clippings propagate. Propagate? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they will. They will.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
Then we might get one or two of those little pots because they're just too darn cute. And then there's also fertilizer, a special blend of fertilizer that he recommends. But he also said I also don't recommend you using it for 6 weeks. Now that you've just planted your bonsai for the first time, wait 6 weeks before you start adding fertilizer. I'm like, perfect. It's about the same time frame that we're going to do the next class. So we didn't, like I said, we didn't buy anything extra other than that tray for my planter. I don't know, there might be a little shopping spree at the next one. We'll see.
Well, they'll love that.
Right. So all in all, I give 2 thumbs up. Auntie Joan?
I give 2 thumbs up.
Nice. Green ones.
We'll hope so. We'll hope so.
I really hope so. I am notoriously the person who kills plants. So we'll see if I can keep this. And there was wire involved, folks.
Oh, yeah. That was scary.
That was scary. That's when I really cut Henry back. I don't know. I think he's going to be fine because the guy Brandon kept saying that, when you get your hair cut and you really don't like it for the first 2 weeks, they cut too much or whatever. He's like, that's what this is. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm like, oh God, I hope so. Because Henry's pretty bald right now.
Did you get him home okay with the packing?
Yes. Auntie Joan did a very nice job. That was one flaw that we found when we were leaving, because your planter is filled to the brim with the soil and it's not watered yet. So there's really nothing weighing it down. It's all like loose gravels, for lack of better terms. And we're like, well, how are we getting these things home? Thankfully, Auntie Joan and I drove together. So while I was driving, she held ours until we got back to her house. But I'm like, well, I've got to go up a canyon and I'm going to be, doing all these switchbacks. And Auntie Joan was kind enough to have a box. That was a perfect size box.
Yeah, it's a good box.
It was a good box, and she packed it nicely, and it didn't budge. I put it on the floor in the passenger seat, on the passenger side. It was fine, totally fine. So I kept it. I'll bring it with me when we do the next one.
Oh, no, that's okay. You can keep it.
No, because we're going to need to bring our next ones
Oh,
home.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so for the 21st, I'm going to keep it for the 21st. I'm immediately write bonsai on it so that I know to keep that box.
And I'll find myself my own box.
Yes. If I get another box that same size, I'll let you know. I have some things coming from the Amazon end of the week or something. Anyway, yes. So there you have it.
So good times.
Good times. But we didn't talk about Ozzy Osbourne's passing.
Oh, yes, we should.
The Prince of Darkness.
Yes.
Left us. Yes, very sad. But, I mean, he was ill, had been ill for a long time. And he did get his final concert in, and I commend him for it. And it was amazing to see all of the heavy metal rockers that came out to support him and pay tribute and sing some of his songs. And it was a lovely send-off. It really, really was.
I said last night I wasn't much of a fan. You heard about the bat thing, him biting the head off the bat, which I heard on one of the TV shows I watched last night that he actually did do it.
Yeah.
But he thought it was a rubber bat. Oh. Somebody in the audience had found a dead bat, put it in the freezer, took it to the concert and threw it up on stage, and he thought it was a rubber bat. And he went and bit the head off, and supposedly he had to have rabies shots throughout the rest of the tour.
Yep.
So at least he wasn't as perverted as they originally made it sound, like he took a live bat and bit its head off.
Right.
But I was never really much of a fan. And then the reality show came on and I fell in love with him.
That show made me sad about him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt bad that he felt like he was already in his decline.
Oh, I think he was.
And it just, because I had only known him as Ozzy, the front man, and all that.
The Prince of Darkness.
Right. And then, you see him this silly
Sharon
family life, can't even understand a word he's saying. It's all mumbled together. And I'm just like, oh my God, what happened to the hard rocker that I was?
And that's what I liked about him. He became real,
Yes.
He wasn't,
yes,
with all his flaws and
yes.
Yeah.
And in Motley Crue's uncensored video from back in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that, they talked about, I think it was in that, I know that I heard this story through the voice of Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. I just can't remember if it was in that video or not. Anyway, he talked about how they were on tour with Ozzy. They were all doing drugs, whatever, and they were trying to outgross each other.
Oh,
And Ozzy won because he knelt down on the ground and there was a line of ants and he snorted them like they were cocaine.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but
Well, there's talk that from the Rolling Stones,
Mick Jagger?
Keith Richards
Oh.
snorted his father's ashes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. They just don't make them like they used to, do they?
I tell you what.
Rockers today are
Mamby
nothing.
Pambies.
Yeah, they're beta males.
Well, rest in peace, Ozzy. You'll be missed.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah. You added a lot. I mean, there's people everywhere. I saw my stepdaughter, my former stepdaughter. I saw her thing on Facebook and she commented. She was up in Loveland, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
There were signs out there. Ozzy.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was beloved. I really do. I was listening to Sirius XM on my way down, Ozzy's Boneyard on the way down to Antie Joan's yesterday. And they're completely paying tribute to Ozzy, having just listeners call in and, say what Ozzy meant to them, as well as some of the rockers that were part of the tribute concert. What was it called? Back to the Beginning. And the lead singer from Alice in Chains, who I was never an Alice in Chains fan. I don't dislike them. I don't like them. They're just kind of there. But he was very eloquent in what he was saying, his experiences with Ozzy. And I really liked that he was saying, Ozzy, was known as the Prince of Darkness. It's hard rocker and he commanded the stage and all that. But every chance he got, especially in the Back to the Beginning tour or the concert, every chance Ozzy got, he kept saying, "We love you.
Oh.
I love you. We love you." He's like, so he's, this hard rocker, you think he's a hard ass guy, but he's got the biggest heart and is just the sweetest man. So I thought it was poignant for somebody, in that industry to recognize that and get that messaging out, because I thought that was pretty important. So
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank
yes.
you, Ozzy, for entertaining us all these years,
That's
one way or
right.
the other.
That's right. Indeed. All right, Auntie Joan. Anything else for our listener today?
Well, I mean, no, I'm done. I'm good. I was just gonna say,
That was pretty funny.
what's his name? Also died today.
Who?
The wrestler
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan. Okay. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Hulk Hogan also died today or yesterday. Today, I saw it on the news. Yeah. He was
Wow.
71. Yeah.
Steroids, probably. Wow. No, I had not heard that. This is real-time information for Auntie here.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I used to love WrestleMania back in the day when he was big, when he was really famous and really big for his wrestling, not for anything else like he is more recently. But for his wrestling back in the day, yes, I was. And he also had a reality show. These guys.
Oh.
He had with his family as well.
I didn't watch it.
It was okay. I did watch it, but honestly, I don't remember as much as I remember Ozzy's. Yeah.
I used to watch wrestling on Sunday mornings back in the 70s with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And I don't remember the other ones, but yeah. That's sad. That's sad.
It is.
No, I mean that I watched wrestling on Sunday mornings.
Oh.
In my 20s.
Anything else,
well.
Auntie Joan?
No, that's good. I'm done.
All right, then. That wraps it for yet another wonderful Pickled Watermelon Rinds episode. This is Auntie signing off.
And Antie Joan saying bye-bye now.
We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.